I love you. We can have conversation. Hello, everybody. We can have conversations and agree to disagree.
Yep.
Let's see
Well,
who's here. Nobody's here.
me, I'm
Oh,
here.
well, I saw Johnny in the chat, but Johnny, are you here? Johnny, are you here? So, yep. How's your week been?
My week's been okay. Sales are a little slow, but that's because I wasn't listing consistently the last couple weeks. Today, well, over the last 24 hours with all the news, it's been a little depressing for everyone.
Yep. I
Um,
100%.
so we even in my town, on top of all of this had happened, right up the street, Pensacola Fitness, a math professor was in there at 4:30 in the morning because evidently that's when she goes to work out. Someone came in and shot her and killed her. There were a few other people there, and so it was somebody she knew, but yeah, just came right in and killed her. And then these poor kids that were just massacred. It's just, and I keep hearing their little names, and they'll be like, Johnny whatever, and 9 years old, and this kid 10 years old, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, they were all 8 to 10 years old,
Little,
11
so
years old.
little.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Hello, Jessica and Johnny. Johnny's first in. I don't have any moon pies, Johnny. And there's Travis and Lori. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for coming. You need to take that. Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
But yeah, in answer to your question, and hello, Sandra. Thank you for being a regular coming in.
Hey, Sandra.
And Ann, thank you. Thank you. Oh, there you go.
Oh, Ann, that was down by your house. That was another thing that happened. It's just been it's been a terrible week for just.
I was trying. Hello, Sandy. I was trying not to get political on here, but I'm telling you, I'm like everybody else. I'm fed up, and I'm a gun owner, but I'm fed up. We've got to at least implement some things to stop this. We've got to.
Hey, Marty.
Hey, Marty. My sales were really good over the weekend. The previous weekend, mine were dead. Then they got busy last weekend, and then they've been really slow. I only had one, I think, yesterday, and now I'm up to like 7 today. So it's just a roller coaster ride, and I don't think there's any rhyme or reason as to why. I mean, I know there's a lot of factors and people not spending money, but I've turned down a few offers that were just too much, too low, and it's not like I have to sell everything that I've listed, but
right.
There's some things that I'm just going to hold on to and get the price I want or close to it as I can. I just sold some Doc Martens that I had for $55 for $45. I paid $10. They're brand new pink size 5.
Those were so nice.
And I did send an offer for $50, and they countered just now at $45. And I thought, you know what? I paid $10. Go ahead and make some money and make the sale. So, yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's been raining for like 3 days. We've had like 5 inches of rain in the last couple of days. And so I'm ready for it to warm back up. Yes, it is. And
hi, Tommy.
Decrypting eBay algorithms, Eureka. Yeah, I mean that. I was just watching Adam Exploits channel, and there's a lady on there, and she was talking about some of the things she does, which I'm gonna have to watch some of her videos. But she said she puts all of her stuff in categories: spades, diamonds, hearts, and clubs, which is a new one on me. And then she runs them immediately on a 10% sale when she lists them. She doesn't pay more than $2 for any item. Right. She has about 2,800 items, and she does about 15,000 in 90 days, which is decent. And hello, Danielle, and let's see who else came in here. That's it. Everybody's caught up. And she said that she runs them she does her promoted. She changes them every day, and she cycles through the spades and the diamonds and all that. And then she runs, 10% for a month, and then she'll go to 20% and then 30. And by 6 months, she goes to 50%. And she said, at that point, I look at donating, but I very rarely have anything left when I get to 50% off. So I'm thinking, well, we all try things and new things, and yeah, exactly, Tommy. And I don't have a lot of sales either. The other day I made a comment when I had a $300 and something day. I only had 5 or 6 sales. It's not how many sales you have; it's how much money are you making.
Right. Did you
Profit.
see what Johnny sold?
Um,
1920 compact. Paid 8, sold for
oh, there it is.
168. Great sale.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't understand the card thing though. I mean, I guess if you have a small inventory, that would work.
well, she's using this. She's using the second category to keep up with it. So she's cycling through every month. She'll change them and
Yeah,
move
but
it
I
to
have a lot of things that are like long tail that
right.
I would just rather stick with my price and
See, I know I don't do it the right way, but I have over 5,600 items. I never donate any of that inventory. I keep it on there. I've got stuff that sells from 2019 and it just sits there, but it's not hurting anything by just sitting there. I paid for it and I want to get paid for it. Now I reduce the prices obviously over time and run sales, but I'm not in a fix where I'm living off this money primarily. So when it sells, it sells. But I also haven't really been sourcing a lot in the last few weeks. I just haven't really been into it. And getting ready to leave in a week and a half, I'm just like, I don't need to have a bunch of stuff. And I haven't listed like you this week. I listed 2 today, and they were both relists. So I haven't really been listing much like I have been. So
Danielle's getting her garden in. It's too late for that here in Florida. We had to do that like a month and a half ago, but that's awesome.
But Danielle, aren't you south? I think she's in the south too, isn't she? And I thought about doing a garden. Hey, Eric. Hey, Harry. I've actually been buying beans and rice and staples because of, if you go to the store now, you don't see a lot of like pasta, and because of the supply chain issues. So I'm starting to buy a little more pasta, even though I don't need a ton of it. I'm just little bit by little bit grabbing things that may or may not go up in price or be in short supply and have them. So yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, if you got a death pile, you need to be listing that death pile because you bought it for a reason when you bought it, that you thought it was worth something. And maybe it's something you get home and you realize it ain't worth anything. And then I give it to my grandkids if it's a toy or something or a plush.
Well, you're not going to make any money on it sitting on your shelf for sure.
That's right. That's right. Or in your death pile.
Hey, Tommy, I slid into your DMs. Well, I mean, I sent you a message on Instagram just about a microphone. So if you happen to ever go on there, I did it yesterday. Luckily, mine is a side deal. Handicap cousin. Aw.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, it's my full-time income. And so I'm a little worried. My sales are fine right now and they're pretty steady, but I wonder if the economy keeps like it is. This is the worst I've ever seen the economy, I think, in my life. Now, granted, I was born in the 70s and they say the economy was awful then, but obviously I don't remember that because I was an infant. But yeah, I've never seen anything like this. And they say it's going to continue through 2023. And I just, if something doesn't happen, I don't know how people are going to keep making it. I've heard so many people that are having trouble just affording food.
I mean, I lived in the 70s when there were long gas lines.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a teenager then, had just started driving, and there were long gas lines. So there's always going to be roller coasters. I mean, the stock market's still up over the last 5 years. Those go like roller coasters, and I don't have anything left in the stock market. I do get UPS shares every year that I liquidate pretty quickly if the stock's at a decent price, just to have savings. But I do supplement some of my income from eBay with my life because I don't get a full pension because I didn't do 30 years. I only did 20, and I took a bump rule, which is extra money when I retired. So, it is what it is. And if I need the money, I've got $110,000 in listed inventory. If I need to start liquidating, I can liquidate. And even sell out to somebody like John Cincinnati Picker did the other day.
Right.
Although he only had a few hundred items and sold it for 1,500 and started over.
Tommy's right here about definitely selling what people need. I think that's why I have never tried to like niche sell
Right.
things. Now, I think if you do shoes or something like that, like Tommy does tons of shoes, that's everybody needs shoes.
Right.
But I don't have a source like he has to get them. But I try to diversify and buy super low so that I'm selling a lot of different types of products, needs and wants and other things, and I can
Right.
sell. I don't have to sell like super high to still make a great profit.
Hi, Miss Journey.
Hey,
Yeah,
Journey.
and I mean, I do pick up obviously ball caps and video games and stuff like that people don't need, but those are typically what I sell. And I would say lately, shoes and clothes like polo shirts and t-shirts, jeans have sold more. I'm trying not to source clothing as much anymore, but I still find myself doing it when I see it at the right price.
I think I'm sourcing more clothes now
Yeah,
because people don't want to pay full price for items. And so the secondary market, not only that, but people don't want to drive and stores are closing, the brick and
yeah,
mortar stores. So I think there's definitely a greater demand for clothes now, but you can't outprice. I
right.
either see people racing to the bottom where they're selling their clothes for $5 or they want $25 for something that everyone else is actually selling for 12, so
Yeah,
and I don't mind selling something for 12 if I paid 50 cents for it.
I've been watching a lot of soft white underbelly and talking to people on the
Mhm.
streets in Philadelphia and LA and the homeless situation and then even Maui. I mean, there's a huge homeless population in Maui.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but then you watch some of the people that he's done interviews with in Kentucky and West Virginia where they don't go to grocery stores except to get basic staples like flour and sugar because they have their own animals to milk and they still slaughter their chickens and cows, but they still live the old way. They can in the summer because in a lot of places in those mountains, they can get out in the winter, so they can hundreds of cans of stuff. And we don't, as a society overall, don't can like my granny and my great granny did, or make, the quilts and live. And they're healthier because they eat things that they grew in their gardens. And maybe we need to, I've actually had them in my yard. I didn't this year, but maybe we need to look at doing more and more of that and canning and putting stuff away for those times when things are lean and be healthier as well.
50.
Um,
I mean, that's true for sure, but um, I would be really in trouble if I had to rely on myself growing anything because everything I touch it like dies. So
yeah.
I'm like screwed if it ever comes to that. I'm gonna have to like barter for other crap with
You're
people.
going to be eating potted meat and spam.
Spam masubi from Hawaii.
I like potted meat, and spam is the number one staple in Hawaii. They
I
love it.
know they would sell spam masubi at like the convenience stores and stuff. I'd be like, oh, it's
If
nasty.
you haven't seen Soft White Underbelly, there's a lady on there that's in her 80s, and she is a fantastic lady. And at the end of the show or the interview, she plays a guitar and sings. And she is such a hard worker to this day. The lady gets up at 5 and does all this stuff, has a bunch of renters, and she's proud of the fact that she has land. But it just, to the work ethic that my grandparents and their grandparents and they have, it's just crazy. It's crazy that in our society today, I mean, to get my kids out there and do some of the things that they had to do, they'd be like, Dad, I can't go out there and plant right now. I'm waiting on a phone call on my cell phone or something.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But
no,
I
man.
think people actually work longer hours now, for sure. It's changed from physical labor to technological labor, for sure.
Sandy, you need a greenhouse, it sounds like.
Raccoons.
There's a guy I think he's in Nova Scotia that has a YouTube channel and he feeds raccoons. Um, and he has them come up and he feeds them dog food and fruits and donuts and cookies and
What?
I mean, but he names them
Never get
all
rid
too.
of
And
them.
oh, it's a cool channel. It's the Raccoon something or another on YouTube. He's actually pretty cool and he just loves these guys. And they all come up to him and eat out of his hand and climb all over him and
I would
and
don't want raccoons
it's
climbing all
just
over me. Don't they have
so
diseases and stuff?
yeah. I mean, he's actually it's kind of cool just to watch a couple times because um, you'll be a circus freak. Thanks, DuPont. I actually watched a documentary on DuPont yesterday. And they were a weird family too. Yeah, they
Raccoon traps. Yeah.
the raccoon guy, yeah. I just bought there were some smoked hams at the local store here last week, 99 cents a pound. So a 7-pound ham for $7. And I used it all week for sandwiches. And then I went back over yesterday to do some grocery shopping for my mother, who's 79, and I do all hers. And I saw him again. So I grabbed her one and grabbed me another one. I thought, man, you can't beat 99 cents a pound for a 7-pound smoked ham. Yeah, and them raccoons, they got them little hands. They can lift trash can lids. Growing up, I lived in a trailer park, and we couldn't have dogs.
Thanks for stopping by.
That's too bad, Van. But I'm glad they helped him.
I can't believe somebody would do that. That's just awful. What is wrong with people?
Yeah, look at what's going on right now. It's just nuts what people are doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible, Tommy.
And the family, if you watch their documentary, they believe the one of the older people in the family believed in inbreeding to keep their family, so marrying their cousins to keep their blood pure. I watched that documentary last night, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, really?" And these people have billions.
Danielle, I agree, but he did say he's coming back soon. I'm not sure or soonish.
Yeah, Tommy, when are you coming back? You want to let us know on here since everybody's asking? Well, Sandy, I just think you ought to let them in the house.
Do you know some people have raccoons for pets?
Yeah, but you don't want to do wild ones and try to turn them into pets.
No. No, I don't think so. So did you see that Lyft has gone down 17%? Like their stock has gone down. I think that's kind of interesting. I think that DoorDash and all of those, I think all of those kind of like this is kind of like a gig economy too with doing eBay. I think a lot of those people are going to be really out of business soon because people I think are just going to stop ordering out to eat all the time because it's so expensive. Like,
I've never even used them. I mean, really? What do they charge to deliver something to you?
Well, the way it works is almost all the restaurants say if like you're getting something at Applebee's, it costs $12 if you go there. On DoorDash, it's going to be like $14.90. So already they're adding in extra fees. And then they're charging like a 15% fee and then another fee. It's like it's called sales tax and something, and then a delivery fee. And then you have to tip. By the time you finish paying, it's almost double for the same thing that you would buy. But I think ones that like are doing the Walmart groceries, I think that's going to grow like crazy because getting people to deliver your groceries for next to nothing, people are going to eat at home less or more and eat out less. I mean, what do y'all think?
I'm so close to all my stores and fast food and restaurants that I never order anything and have it delivered, including pizza. I just go get it and pick it up and bring it back. I don't.
How could you consider it slacking off though? Because your show is late at night. I mean, granted, you do go into the wee hours of the night sometimes, so that would probably.
Oh, his 90-day sales, I think he's saying is doing. Yeah, so
that's amazing. I'm glad you're doing really well. UCO's talk. Nice. What is UCO?
See, locally here, it's University of Central Oklahoma. I know she can buy no stock in them. I ordered everything I can.
Yeah, see that makes perfect sense. Like I think a lot of people just they value the time. I hate grocery shopping. It's like terrible. I would much rather have somebody bring it to me than have to worry about going out and spending. Sometimes it's like an hour.
Tommy lists for 9.5 hours.
Do you really?
Oh, it's an oil stock. Okay. Well, they're getting rich right now, so you should be.
Every day you list that much? Oh, an oil stock. That's awesome.
Yeah. So she should be rich because they're getting rich right now. Blame who you want, but it's oil companies are getting rich. Um,
And would you not sleep ever if you're
no,
doing
he's
donut
always a
runs
late
in the
night guy. I mean, your
morning?
show doesn't come on till late, and
But I mean, don't your kids like wake you up then? Like during the
now,
day? He's
Sandra,
just a
what does the
vampire
Walmart
in
yearly
everything.
subscription cost?
I know the Walmart Plus is like, I don't know how much it is for yearly, but it's like 12 something a month, but you get unlimited free delivery. You just
Right,
you I think you add a tip every time though, like for your
right.
driver.
Hey, Adam. Adam, that was an
Yeah.
interesting guest you had. I'm gonna go check some of her videos out because I want to see how she's doing those SKUs. I was kind of curious about that, so I guess she's done videos on it. I mean, she doesn't buy a lot of expensive stuff, and she doesn't spend a lot. But if she's making money, that's the name of the game.
Cleaning shoes. I hate cleaning shoes. That's why I hate to pick up shoes
Yeah,
sometimes because it's such a pain in the butt. And it wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't messy. Cleaning shoes is like such a messy thing.
right. I don't go to Walmart at all because I don't like the fact that they don't have people to check you out. So I
They
go to
have
grocery
no
stores
one
where
to
they
check
actually
you out
have it.
anymore.
Yeah,
It's
and I'm,
all self checkout.
if you're going to give me a discount like Aldi's where you can uh, bag your own stuff, that's fine. But they don't give discounts, so you know what?
Mm-mm.
I don't go there. It tells you.
Well, so Tommy, you just sleep during the day? Is that so? You're just a reverse schedule?
Oh, okay.
That is
And
very.
Tommy, do you have your stuff picked up, or do you take it to the post office? I go to the post office every day.
I have mine picked up 3 days a week, and then other days when I have extra stuff, I'll take it.
No, Miss Journey, tell us, tell us.
Hear about
Sada?
the scandal in the sneaker reseller? No.
No, don't know that one. And I have two local grocery stores that are locally owned. One's a bigger local chain, and the other's a smaller. But I go to both of them, and the prices are fairly similar.
Right.
One of them has even more selection than Walmart, um, but they both check out and they give you a choice. Hey, Jennifer Hayes, thank you for coming in. And they give you the choice of plastic or paper and all that good stuff. So Walmart they're like Goodwill to me. They're dead to me for the most part.
But they're
I
the
don't go to Goodwill.
best place to, I mean, the least expensive place to buy groceries, I think. But it is a pain for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's different items that are cheaper in other places too. Like I said, I went to. Now I know we're going to do a debate over Hellman's or Miracle Whip, but I'm a Miracle Whip guy and always have been. Hey, Real Squirrel, thank you for coming in. I'm a Miracle Whip guy, not a Hellman's or a mayonnaise guy on my sandwiches. And the other day I was in my local little store and they had them on sale. Normally mayonnaise is like $4 and something, or Miracle Whip a jar, and it was at 99 cents a jar. I was like, I'll buy three. So they go in my cabinet because when you're paying for something for them, and Aldi's is cheap. If you don't have an Aldi's near you, that's too bad because they don't have a huge selection, but they have really good prices on stuff.
I didn't say hi to
You.
Kristen. Are my kids still playing golf for fun? Yes, they have a course at UWF, the college here, and my daughter's boyfriend, his friends are like super into it. Now they suck. They're really, really terrible at it, but they're they just play for fun though. The boys are like super competitive. They just go out there just to be out there and mess around and be around everyone.
So Walmart is $98 a year or $8.17 a month, and she gets weekly deliveries. That's not bad.
No.
To save on gas.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I believe when you do that, you could literally order any amount. Like it doesn't have to be like $30 or more. It could be like any amount, and it's free delivery.
Lori's mentioning HEB. HEB is a big chain in Texas, and it stands for it's HE Butt Grocery. They're based in San Antonio, but they are one of the most awesome grocery stores you could ever go in. Yeah. They're like the Buc-ee's of grocery stores. They got everything. For those of you that have been in Texas. So 6:30, he takes the oldest to school. When I get home, I have breakfast with the little ones and the wife. Dang, how many kids you got, Tommy? I lay down about 9:30 and sleep till 3-ish, then spend time until they go to bed at 8.
Aw, see, that's nice.
What are you going to do when you retire? Like, I mean, my schedule since my kids are gone, I get up at like, I was getting up at 6. Now I'm waiting to get up to like 7:30. And then I ship if I haven't already got them all my shipping done, go to the post office, grab some lunch, come back, usually take a nap, and then I list in the afternoon. Sometimes I list a little bit in the morning, and then I go to bed at like 10 or 11. Totally different schedule than Tommy.
When my kids were little, my oldest, she would like nap steady for like 3 hours in the afternoon, so I could always get a ton done then, and she would go to bed at 8. My youngest, man, non-napper. I'm like, how do you not nap? From the time she was like 8 months old, that was it. She was like a full day kid.
Now, Duke's Mayo, I've never had, Ann. I do see it, but I've never had it. It's always been either Hellman's, which I hate, or Miracle Whip, and I've always had Miracle Whip on sandwiches. So.
Well, Tommy, how old are you? I know you have the baby, so it might change for you once like they're all in school. Who knows? Hey, Tracy is here. Hey, Tracy.
Rosetta Kick was a multi-million-dollar sneaker supplier that sold high-end new drops and limited edition, mostly Nike, that went bankrupt, owing a lot of resellers thousands. Ooh. Oh, I have heard something about that. I just didn't know who the name was. Wow. Hey, welcome, Tracy. See, Tracy lives in Texas. She knows. Yep, H.E. Butt, based in San Antonio.
Tracy, how far away are you from what happened at the school?
I think, don't you live in Bastrop, Tracy? Uvalde's about 80 miles west of San Antonio, so, and she lives east of Austin if she lives in Bastrop.
Bye, Lori, have a great day. You should do some videos of you doing the gardening. I love that's relaxing.
You mean the sun's disappearing? It ain't raining in the east because it's raining. It's been raining here. I know it's going east.
Oh, it's nice here in Florida.
Yeah, my mom's retired Safeway union meat wrapper, but Safeway doesn't exist in Texas anymore. Only on the West Coast in Hawaii.
His kids are 16, 4, and 1. That's a big old gap there in the middle.
Man, what was up with that?
That's awesome.
He must have been married more than once to have a separation like that. There's a 35 million. Okay.
Grocery order, but 0 on online orders. Oh, 10 cents off gas. Hey, that matters nowadays.
Walmart has Murphy's gas. Yeah. And they are usually cheaper than everybody else. 16 for 1. Man. Well, we took it from
north is a new country.
Uvalde is on the way to Laredo from San Antonio, Tracy. It's west of San Antonio, about 80, 90 miles. Yeah, it's been raining here for like almost 3 days now. We've had like 5, 6 inches. It's crazy, but we needed it. So I'm not going to ever complain. When you got Lake Mead in Vegas, it's almost completely dry. I'd like to give them some of it, but crazy.
Yeah, this week has been like super depressing. I'm like, the world.
Yeah.
And then, I'm like complaining about my sales, and I'm like, I really, my life could be a heck of a lot worse. Jeez, oh man.
Well, I leave in about, 10 days, maybe 9 days. I'm ready to be gone. And I'm going to put my store on vacation like I always do, but I'm not going to worry about how many sales I have because I'm actually kind of a little burnt out on eBay. So I'm just like doing what I need to get by. And if I sell, I sell. If it don't, it don't.
Don't go swimming in Texas either with an ex in Texas. Cyclist murder?
David Crash. There's been so many. I mean, Texas is huge, so there's a lot can go on there. I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's good, Sandra.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of the people that, I don't want to, if I get onto the subject, it's going to make everybody mad because I'm definitely mad right now. So I don't want to get everybody pissed off, but we got to do something. We got to change something.
Yeah, Bobby and we talked about this before we went live because we didn't want to get all political on here, but we have differing opinions, like opposite opinions, but we can still be friends. See how that
Yeah.
works? All these people who like Democrats and Republicans who can't get along, we can get along.
And I'm neither. I'm an independent voter, but I mean, we got to change something, and we got to fix some things, and it ain't just guns; it's other things too. But I'm not going to get into it. I'll let everybody make their own choice when they go to vote.
Murdered by her ex-boyfriend's.
Oh yeah, that just happened.
Oh wow!
And supposedly it was like a one-time fling or something, from what I understand, and it happened a while back. But I guess she
Wow!
found out. So, the bad part about hunting in Texas, Sandra, is that you got to pay for a deer lease, and the deer lease costs so much that unless you know somebody, that it's not even worth harvesting the deer. I mean, I don't hunt personally. I couldn't shoot Bambi in the face, but I will eat deer meat just like I'll eat a cow. But I couldn't. If I had a cow and I would get attached and I couldn't kill it, I just have a heart for that stuff. I couldn't look an animal in the face and then just destroy it and eat it, and especially to eat the same thing I just grew. So I know that there's reasons for it and overpopulation and all that stuff, but it's like, man, I would have a hard time shooting
Bobby would have
Bambi.
a herd of cow, and the cows in his backyard.
And we get a cow once a year from a family member, and Karen's brother slaughters it, and we get half a cow and we split it amongst the family. And the meat is really good and it's lean as heck. The hamburger's awesome, but it's like, if that was my cow, he'd be alive because I couldn't go take. I mean, I'd have to be gone or something and go, "Where's my cow?" Oh, I sent him to slaughter, because if I couldn't do it myself, I just couldn't do it myself. And
That's
that I
why
know that.
you see these little kids who do 4-H, because I'm from Ohio where they actually have 4-H.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We have
And
FFA.
they're laying there with their cow. They've shown it all, and like most of them are going to be killed. Like that's so
Yeah.
sad.
Nope. And it ain't presidents.
Yeah.
It's the lobbyists in this country that are killing it, and the politicians don't want to lose their base because there's 300 million people in this country and there's 310 million guns. And I'm a gun owner and I own the same guns that were used in this process yesterday and other times. I just think we need to tighten up who can get one, and who, if you're guilty of domestic abuse or violence or threats of violence, your gun should be taken from you. That's just the way I feel. And it should be harder to get them. You shouldn't be able to go to a gun show and just be able to buy a gun from anybody without any kind of background check. I mean, I've gotten background checks every time I bought one, and most of mine I bought at Academy. So they do a background check every time and make sure I'm not a felon. I don't have any record or anything, but there are some people that should not own guns. And
I own a gun that was given to me, so I didn't have a background check. So, and my gun's not registered that way because I didn't. It's not required in Florida, and so I guess I would have, just to get a gun from somebody. You're saying I should have been registered and done a background check on.
And that's the whole thing with this, Anne, is I agree with what you just said. I'm not advocating anybody give up their guns. I'm just saying we limit who can get them and make it, maybe put out a waiting time of getting them 2 weeks from the time you order one before you can put your hands on it. Maybe then if you are upset about something, you calm down a little bit. But to just to let people get slaughtered, and especially, children. And I know this guy supposedly was picked on, some other stuff, but there's a lot to this. Mental health is part of it too. And if you watch some of these shows like Soft White Underbelly and some of the others where they're in the streets of Philadelphia and Skid Row in LA, which has been there for many, many decades, and you see that nobody has any. And I've got a daughter that had dealt with addiction, and it was hard to get help financially. And it's like, we need some kind of a healthcare system in this country where if you're sick, you don't go bankrupt going to the hospital, where you get help for addiction and for mental health. And if it can reduce the numbers, that's all that we need. That's all we can do. I mean, and in Illinois, they got huge gun issues in New York City and Chicago, but they're illegal there. But you're going to be able to get them on it. Criminals are going to get them. I mean,
Well, the problem I have with, never mind. I don't want to get into, make it all a gun debate because obviously we differ on that. But
Yeah,
Tommy is right. Laws are like door locks. They're for the honest people.
I
Criminals
live.
are just gonna get through no matter what.
And like I said, I got about 9 of them, and I do have 2 assault, or they're not really assault weapons; they're semi-automatic. But I do have an AR and I do have an SKS. I've never even shot the SKS. I've got like 308s and stuff I've never even fired, but I have them. It's more peace of mind for me. They're in a gun safe. Nobody has access to them. If I needed to get to them quick, I probably couldn't because then I'd be like, what the hell's that combination? But I do keep a gun in my car and I do keep a gun near my bed. So, I mean, I do have that peace of mind, pistols, but we just got to make it a little harder for some people to get them. That's all I'm saying.
But the kid who killed all them children, he didn't just get that gun, did he?
Yeah, in March he got them. But he saved up and went and got 2 of them. Yeah.
Okay, but he got it in March. So even if there was a 14-day hold on it, that wouldn't have changed his outcome today.
True, but then some of it's also politicized, like the guy. And I mean, people that want to kill people are going to kill people. I mean, in France and places where they don't have them, and you've had Middle Eastern people kill people, they can get guns and kill people. In New Zealand, is they just outlawed everything. Canada, you can't buy these kind of guns. I'm not against owning any kind of gun. I mean, but somebody mentioned today on one of the shows I was watching, and they were like, well, in England and some of these places, people have mental health issues and they don't kill each other because they have gun control. Okay, but we just have to take care of. But they also have universal health care, and they also have people that need to be helped can get help.
Right.
We don't. People that can't afford it can't get help with addiction or mental health here. So, unless you have insurance, and
that's true.
Don't.
All I can say is I think everyone is entitled to their opinions for sure. This was a tragedy, no matter what, no matter where he got the gun or whatever. And I think obviously we need to do something to make sure our schools are secure. Yeah. I was talking to my daughters about this. Even though our schools here, you are required to show ID and everything to go in the front door. But the kids go around the back door and there's not fence around it. They go in and out of those doors all day long. So there's no safety measurements at all when you come to, except for going in the front door. So hopefully this will help some of the schools, moving forward to at least have more protocols in place,
right.
To protect the kids and lock down things they can do when something like that happens, that they can lock the rooms and stuff. I saw there's these really cool locks that it bolts the doors down into the ground. That I saw a YouTube video on it and stuff like that. I think that kind of stuff is great. So that when someone comes in, they could put a code and an alarm, and no matter who it is in the school, kids even, they can in 1 second lock all their doors. I think that's
and I agree, Lynn. I don't think age is a factor. Like I said earlier before you came in, red flags should be put in place for people that have a history of domestic violence, of threatening people, of suicide threats, of killing other people threats. And then we also need to close, in my opinion, gun shows need to be regulated where you can't go to a gun show and just buy it from so-and-so.
Wait a second. There's been 30 school shootings, elementary school shootings this year?
Yeah, but some of them were somebody didn't get killed. I mean, because they don't report every little shooting, but they're happening all over the place. I mean, just last 2 weeks, you had one in California at the church. You had the Asian church. You had the one in Buffalo that was race related. You had the one yesterday, of course, and Albuquerque had one. I mean, there's been so many, and sometimes it's a murder suicide situation. We're in Texas a few years ago between San Antonio and Houston. The guy walked into a church, was looking for his ex. She wasn't in there, and he shot a bunch of parishioners. I mean, and And yeah, that too, Lynn. I agree. We just have to put some loopholes and some protections in place. It doesn't matter. Again,
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to take your Second Amendment rights or take your. And we do have cops in schools here too, and they had school cops too.
Yeah.
But he got in a door that somebody had left partially open, and got in there and barricaded himself in, and they didn't. They were trying to get everybody else out, and while he was slaughtering the 19 kids and the 2 teachers before they got him. And
Picker. Hey, Mike. Good to see you.
I mean, yeah, they had him, and they had other responders quickly. I mean, he shot his own grandmother in the face. I mean, and he's only lived with her since March.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had issues with his own mother, and I don't know what they were. That hasn't come to light yet. But, there's a lot of hate in this country right now, and it's worse than when I was a kid in the 60s going through segregation. I never thought it would be that bad again, but it's worse. The politics is just horrible.
Lori said the high schools have cops. Down here, they have one resource officer. So if he's in a meeting or whatever, didn't they say it happened in 2 minutes? This.
Well, he was in there for an hour.
But I mean, he came in and got in the room and, in 2 minutes time. So.
Yeah. Hi, Karen. And,
yeah. What Tommy said. If he's on the other side of the school.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an independent voter. I vote for who I think's the best option. I don't vote for any particular party, although right now I'm not real happy with the GOP side of things. But that doesn't mean that there aren't bad people on the other side too. So it's just Ted Cruz doesn't care. Governor Abbott doesn't care. They don't care about any life that's prior to it being born, but they sure care about the ones that are already born. They don't care about them. I mean, you can sit here all day and get political, but I really don't want to do that on this deal. But
I mean, and people are going to say, "Oh, we're trying," but it's not. I mean, it's just terrible, no matter what side you're on. And it seems like instead of coming up with solutions, all we do is spout the same rhetoric over and over and over again, and never changes, and nobody ever changes their position, at least politicians wise.
Well, and again, I think a lot of our problems in this country go back to lobbyists. Lobbyists control the politicians, and they corrupt them. And if they're good people when they go in, they don't always stay good people. They end up being crooked or taking on the take, or you can't. When you get to Washington, I'm sure people that think they're going to do good, and they get there and they're like, how do one person can overcome all this when they're against me? Because we pretty much vote right down the middle, and it's not the way it should be. When I vote in an election, I look at depending on what position they're trying to run for, what's going to benefit the people, because we are the people, and a lot of those people in those offices don't care about the people. They care about their careers and the people that are making them rich.
I mean, so many of them, they don't have any other jobs. Their jobs are being politicians. It's crazy to me.
Hey, Patrick.
Patrick, hey there.
Or is that Benny Hill?
Better than Benny Hinn.
Benny Hill. Benny Hinn's a friggin' fake pastor. I definitely don't want to go down that road. But now,
so if anybody came in here thinking this was a reseller chat, sorry.
Yeah, we've covered some reselling stuff, and we've talked about Walmart deliveries and planting gardens and old school canning and things you probably should be doing again. And I don't know. Hey, Roman, how are you, man? Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't think prayers are working, but that's my opinion.
So you have 2 weeks left? No, not even 2 weeks.
I leave
10 days left?
A week from Monday. I fly out.
Hey, Daryl. Welcome in. Bobby is going, in case you don't know, he's going to Maui again. How many times does this make?
This will be number 5 to Maui.
Number 5? Wow.
Since 2016, awesome. And then I've been to the Big Island once since then. Wasn't a big fan of it, and I went to Oahu 3 times in the Navy, but again, too populated. Maui's the best one. It's just the most expensive one, too.
Yeah.
Hey, Ciro.
Serial
But we
killer.
have a plan. We go in and shop. When we land, we stop at Walmart and buy groceries. Yes, I go to Walmart there because the option is Walmart, Safeway, or Costco, and I don't have a Costco card. And then we go to the condo and unload, and then go out and eat, and then start our excursions the next day.
Google searches for how to clean aluminum foil.
They do, Tommy. They do, and you know that. Google searches for how to clean aluminum foil are skyrocketing. Okay, now you got to explain that one, Lynn. I'm missing something there.
I know.
On storing food or something? Because, yeah. That's what I said. I mean, we just need to tighten up who gets them. That's all. I'm not saying take away guns because you're never going to take away. There's too many people in this country that have them that you're going to get them all. That just ain't going to happen. And nobody's trying to do that. Nobody tried to do that.
Prayers and thoughts are great, but that is not going to help them next week when there are 20 funerals happening of these little children.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are people cleaning aluminum foil? Yeah. Economy. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. So
I've been buying a lot of beans and rice and pasta because pasta is hard to find. Not hard to find, but it's getting harder. Some meats, some things that are long-term tuna, canned goods. I've been doing a little more research on what has the longest shelf life, and some of those things like potted meat and stuff, which I do like potted meat. Most people don't. So I buy that kind of stuff, and I'm just kind of putting it up. And I'm not buying like so much that I'm hoarding it, but I am buying enough that I could. And I do have MREs and stuff that I've had for probably now 3 or 4 years. I bought like 2 boxes. It's like a 60-day supply if I ever needed them. I have all that stuff. But and I think it's shelf life on it 7 or 10 years. So I'll have to check it at some point. But hopefully I never have to eat it because I'm sure it don't taste great.
I'm sure it's nasty.
When you're hungry, right? Be like what's that movie with Denzel when he shot the cat in the beginning episode, that greasy cat, and he was traveling with the Bible to the West, and everybody was trying to take it from him. Yeah.
People live and die by politics, and you got that right. Now, I used to be like so right-wing conservative when I was younger. I was like Hannity and Rush Limbaugh. I listened every day and stuff. And then I got old and realized, it's all just a bunch of bull. I mean, no matter what, they can do good if they wanted to. They can make change if they wanted to, but they actually stay in office by following the garbage and not making any changes. That's, it's crazy to me. So
yeah, Tommy,
very little interest in it.
Tommy, if you ain't heard of Greg Locke, you need to check him out on TikTok. Some of the spewing hate that he has. I mean, politics and religion have no place together. And for those of you who don't know, and I probably never said it on here because I didn't want to, I'm not a believer in God. So I think you can be a good person and not be a believer in a religion or any religion. But that's not to say that you have the right in this country. And part of the reason I served was not so you could have your rights. It's just because it was the best thing for me personally at the time. But that is a right that you have to believe how you believe as long as it doesn't encroach on somebody else. But we're letting politics and religion collide. And when you tell me how I got to live or a woman has to live with her own body or her own mind, I mean, then we got a problem and it doesn't belong. So
I'm not going down that slippery slope.
Yeah, I know. But since Tommy brought it up.
Book of Eli was an amazing movie for sure.
It's a good action movie. Hey, what's going on down there in Miss Florida? Are y'all not getting any rain?
It rained today. It's supposed to pour tomorrow, but then nice weekend. So I'm super happy about that.
Yes, Roman, you're absolutely correct. It will. Some people will be sad for a couple of days and then they'll forget about it.
They're even talking about UFOs now.
Mm-hmm. I've personally never seen a UFO, but so many people keep saying that. That I mean, all the military videos and stuff. It's like Bigfoot. Is there really a Bigfoot? I mean, I got family members that preach Bigfoot, and I'm like, okay, don't you think by now we would have found a Bigfoot somewhere? At least a carcass or something. But I'm not saying UFOs don't exist. I believe there's other life on other planets. There's too many solar systems out there that exist. But that's just me.
Kristen says, how's that monetization?
It's gonna be killed there, Kristen. But that's okay because I don't care about that.
Yeah, this one won't. Yeah,
I quit caring about. I'm like Tommy on that. I don't care anymore about the monetization. I'm not making any money on it anyway. So
yeah, if y'all think we're anyone who's is making any money like on YouTube, no. I mean, people who have a lot of subscribers, they are, but
Journey, I have seen some stuff where Poland's trying to get some of that Ukrainian wheat through them and source it. But we have a lot in this part of the country too. And that's another thing, making bread. I mean, we can make our own bread. It's not like you gotta, you can go out and buy flour and yeast. There you go, Lynn. Sometimes though, it's got to be said. I mean, like I said, you're entitled to your beliefs, every one of you. But as long as they don't, where I get mad at family on Facebook is when they consistently bring up certain people or certain things, and I'm not saying anything, and I'm trying to just hold the line and get along because I care more about my family. And you're not going to change people's opinions by spewing anything anyway. Right. So why get involved in it? So I just let it go. But sometimes it gets under your skin. But things like this that happen, and all the ones that have happened, we just got to do something. We got to do something. And the only way I know to do it is to vote the people out that are not helping.
Roman, the Cuisinart blades have been recalled for quite a while. So yeah, definitely Cuisinart. Not all of them, but a lot of the blades you can't sell now. 150,000 views. Most likely you're losing money not listing during that time. Yeah. I mean, and that's the same as Tommy, that when I'm too busy, I unfortunately have to
and TikTok
to YouTube because I have to make money, and I'm definitely not making it on YouTube. I make it on eBay.
Yeah. And I'm the same way.
Facebook.
Yeah. I try not to get and TikTok. Don't forget that. TikTok's got a lot of hate both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not on Twitter or what's the other one that's out there? I'm only on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I'm not on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, but I don't get on there.
Len, my grandmother is super racist too. And I hate to give someone a pass, but years ago it was different. But I'm like, you're living in this world today. How could you still be racist and think like that? I don't know.
Well, Lynn, my little brother, who also was in the Navy, by the way, he was on the Enterprise. His wife is African American. They've been married 26 years. Mm-hmm. She's the best sister. And it has nothing to do with her color. And she's from a poor sharecroppers family in Arkansas, and they have a great life. Their kids are now grown, and they do a lot of stuff. They do everything together. And she's kind of quiet, and he's a little bit louder, kind of like me. But we need to quit talking about color and just talk about our hearts and in people, and quit segregating people into categories, because we're all human and we all bleed. And I love my country, and again, I served it, but we have done so many things wrong, and the rest of the world has too. I mean, the rest of the world has conquered other countries. Vietnam's been conquered many times. Israel, Europe, I mean, the Romans, Genghis Khan, all those things. We came in and took the land from the Native Americans. We took Mexico, California, New Mexico, and Texas from Mexico. We did poor by the Irish when they came here. We did poor by the Chinese when they came here. African Americans, we enslaved them. I mean, we've done so many bad things. So were we the ones here? No. But my family's been in this country on both sides through my genealogy since the late 1700s, And yes, there were people in my family that owned slaves, and I am terribly sad that that's a part of my history.
Yeah.
So I love my
Kristen,
country, but it's not my country that did it. It's the people that are in the country that did it.
hey, Kristen, I saw when I did my Whatnot orientation that you were in there. Have you done one of the Whatnot auctions yet? I think I'm going to pass actually because I've been watching Rachel Strickland's Whatnot and she's like giving her crap away. I'm just like, it just doesn't seem worth it. Like, I guess if you really want to get rid of stuff super like yard sale prices, you could do it. But unless you have a huge following, I just don't see it being worthwhile.
You know, Lynn, that was another thing about the Navy. When I went to boot camp and I went to Orlando, a lot of people were from the north, and I'm from the south,
Mm-hmm.
and I had never heard the Lord's Prayer. And at night before we went to bed, they said it in boot camp. And then when I got on ships, there was such a conglomeration of people from all over the United States on that ship. We even had a guy from Norway that his dad was American military guy. So you're seeing people from the north, the south, of all colors, all different, backgrounds, Catholic, Protestant, non-religious, all that stuff. And you're right. Racism, I don't remember racism ever being a thing, but it wasn't for me in high school either. And my high school was very mixed. It was more, in high school, it was more the cliques. The kickers or the cowboys were against the jocks, and the jocks were against, the goody goods or the preppies, as we called them. I mean, it was more of a clique thing, the haves, the have-nots, and the jocks were a big part of it, And so it wasn't a racial thing. It just wasn't.
I think my school, I'm from small town, Ohio, and my town, there just weren't, everyone was white. It was very odd. And so I didn't, it was never an issue because there was no one else there. And when moved on my own, I moved to Virginia when I was 20. It never was an issue for me, except for there are a lot of people that from my hometown that just said terrible things about, we're so racist. And I'm thinking, why? And I guess it's stupidity. Like
it's ignorant.
They don't know any. They just didn't know anyone who was a
That's
different
exactly
race.
right. That's
so
exactly.
I just never understood it. But my grandmother's one of the
my grandfather here in Oklahoma, the little town, and there were I think 500 people. It's Johnny Bench's hometown. And one time when we were kids, I came up every summer and spent my summer from Austin, Texas to Oklahoma to spend my summer with my grandparents, my aunt and uncle, and two of my brothers, because two of my brothers live with my stepdad and two of us live with our mother in Texas. But I spent every summer from the time I was 12 to the time I went in the military with them during the summer after school got out. And we were at the park one time, and my grandpa saw two black kids playing on the merry-go-round, and me and my two brothers, and I'm the oldest, wanted to go play with them.
Hey, Carmen.
And he told us not to. We'd get hurt if we went over there and played with them. And so when he turned his back to go talk to a man while the high school baseball game was going on, we went over there and we played with him and we had a blast. Well, he saw us. He come over and he was madder than a hen. He took us home, and I'm the oldest. So when he pulled us out of the car, he took the belt to me. And I loved my grandpa dearly. But I told him that he just didn't understand, because where I live, we all play together. We don't know that, and this was I'd say early 70s. And
wow,
it was because he hadn't been around anybody. And it's all things people are taught, just like everything else in the world. We're taught things. And if you don't think for yourself and you don't do research and learn for yourself, you're going to live in that mentality that, this is the way it is. And it's just wrong. But when I was in the career of trucking and moved out in New York, Texas, different places in Texas, even in Texas, as big as it is, Southeast Texas is more Cajun influenced because it's near the Louisiana border. Dallas is a big city that's more financial, and Fort Worth's more of a cow town. And I lived in the Metroplex 3 times. I'm from Austin, which is kind of a liberal college town, very open, hippies. And then I've lived in Kansas and Oklahoma and Phoenix, and every place I lived, it was a different culture. New York was predominantly Catholic. It was mostly Italian, and it was just different. But you learned, and you got to say, hey, I understand, each culture differently, and it helps you versus being in some little podunk town and wherever. And I don't want to offend anybody by saying their state, and then never seeing the outside of it. Like when the guy does interviews on Soft White Underbelly, he goes, "What states have you been to outside of Kentucky?" And they go, maybe Indiana or Illinois and Kentucky. So they haven't been anywhere. So they haven't experienced any culture outside of that. So, even though they're poor, there's no jobs, they don't want to leave because that's all they know. And so how can you have any real, I guess, intelligent thoughts on the rest of the world when you haven't lived anywhere else? Yes, very much.
Tommy said, donate the crap and list
and make more
money. It's true. You have to have a giant following. I mean, like some of these like Rally Roots and stuff, they go on there. Even Daily Refinement, he's on there, and their stuff goes really, really high. But like Rachel Strickland, she has like 8,000 subscribers, and she was selling formal dresses for $1. I'm like, and then after fees, she's getting 60 cents. I'm like, no, that's not going to work for me. And Tommy needs a sugar daddy. So if anyone is interested.
What did he need, a sugar mama?
He said either. Either's fine.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You might have to do something.
Hey, welcome in. This is a crazy day to hang out.
I don't know. He don't need no sugar mama either. He's already got 3 kids.
Travis, what?
Yeah, I saw it.
That's awful.
And again, I think racism is mainly ignorance. It's just,
yeah. I mean, it was, it was completely accepted like years and years ago, but in the world we live in today, that I don't understand anyone who is racist at this point.
I'm be honest, in my opinion, it's worse than it was in the 60s. It hasn't gone anywhere. I thought it had, but it hasn't. I'm not saying people haven't advanced, but the hate is just, and it ain't, I mean, it's not just African Americans either. We do it with other races.
Tommy, I signed up for Whatnot just because I think it was Jen. Jen said, well, sign up, or maybe it was someone who said, just sign up because you never know if you want to do it. And that way you're already in and approved. So I went ahead. I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. And I got approved like right away. It only took like a week. But then it just seems like a lot of work to get it all situated and set up, and, the picture of the item with your description and weigh everything to make next to no money. And I'm thinking, yeah, those couple hours you could get what the item's worth by listing it on eBay. I don't know. I would love it to change, but I think at first people were making a lot more money, but now it's already getting saturated at certain times, that there's so many auctions going on that I think we're getting already harder and harder to get discovered and to grow on there. I don't know. I could be wrong, and I also don't have the target kind of product that, it's known for. Now they are trying to do like thrift and clothing and stuff, but I still think it's kind of more of a guy's thing. Whatnot just seems like a lot of guys are on there. So I think, if you have women's items on there, they're just not going to do as well, at least at this point.
Right.
That's just my opinion, though.
I agree, Lynn, and I've got a lot of interracial marriages in my family too, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's the people, it's how the people treat each other and how much they love each other, whether they're interracial, gay, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you can't change who you love, you can't change that, and you shouldn't.
Shouldn't matter.
Shouldn't. Yeah.
Unless you're a pedophile.
I mean, JT loves me, but he won't tell me that he loves me, and it breaks my heart, but I know that he does. Vintage 90s.
Vintage 90s on there?
Wow.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna Get my pen. Now it's 7 p.m. Is that
Yes.
Central, Eastern? Because I'm putting it on my calendar.
Okay, now I'm not going to be inappropriate here. Tommy, where are you at when we need you?
You have to have amazing stuff to bring people back.
Yeah.
Run it. Yeah.
And that is part, if I ever did it, it'd probably be ball caps and video games, because I am collecting some extra GameCube games that have value if I ever wanted to do it. But right now, I just don't feel like doing it. And I know I've got plenty of stuff to sell. And part of it's also pulling stuff down off eBay to get rid of. And I probably at some point probably need to. I even thought about cross posting this week to Macari some, but then I couldn't figure out how to do it without cross listing on that list perfectly or whatever it is. So I was like, yeah.
Look at Tommy's.
I know what Tommy's doing. He's going to the YMCA, and when they're all swimming in the pool, he's taking their shoes out of the bin.
Shoes? No.
Or when they're bowling, he's taking them out of the bins.
Look at that.
Yeah, there you go, Tommy. There you go. Tommy's smarter than the average bear.
Oh my gosh. But Kristen, I got you on my calendar, so I will be there on Friday.
Tommy is smarter than the average bear. Whoever said UPS was a horrible service. My girlfriend will, because she is so mad with all the overcharges. And I'm like, I have never had an overcharge on UPS. I don't know what you're talking about. But she's getting them, and she is livid over them. And I'm like, you're measuring them? I'm over measuring, overweighing. I'm like, I've never had an issue. I don't know why.
Journey, I agree. I have actually found quite a few things on there. I've actually sourced tons of plush of all things that they're just like, oh, here's this plush, and it starts at $1, and it's some rare plush that is selling for $40 or $50. They just have no idea. And the people on there are just like, oh, I like plush. I like stuffed animals. I'm like, heck yeah, I'll take that. But I don't want to be a place for other people to buy stuff for reselling, quite honestly. I
don't want to sell stuff for $5. I can do that on eBay.
Yeah, exactly.
I know it sells fast. The first one that I went on Whatnot, and I was just after GameCube games, and this guy had a mystery auction. And I loved it, even though I got some games that weren't as much as I paid for them. I got one that was worth like 3 times what I paid for it. So it was cool because it was just a drawing, and you picked a number, and then you got the one. Some of them were sealed games, and I got GameCube Pokemon Gales of Darkness for $150. It was for $59, and it's $150, $180 game, and I'm like, that was a win. But then some of them weren't. So
yeah.
Oh, JT's with you? Well, then maybe you should love him then, because anyway, No, she has a scale. She got the scale from me, but I told her you might want to get you another scale. Scales are cheap. You can get a good scale for $25, $30. I said that would be the thing, because she knows how to dimensionalize and all that stuff. And she's going off the weight of her scale. But the other thing is, I go to the UPS store and I verify it while I'm standing there. Hey, mostly I've been shipping tubes because I've changed all my posters and bats and golf clubs to UPS since USPS got that new rule. So I've never had a problem, and I overestimate everything. I don't just put it right on the number.
Roman, unless you're Rally Roots, and they can they'll say our shoes are worth $50 to $100, and they get $150 for every pair.
And chase after the right price, same thing. He'll sell video games that are worth $80 for $200. And one time I watched, and some guy wanted the shirt he had on, so he sold that, and he got like $60. I'm like, there's no sense in even coming in here to buy stuff, because you're not going to get it at a price that's reasonable. And I'm not paying extra just because you're a big YouTuber. I mean, I love his channel, but I'm not going to pay extra for it.
Well, my problem is, at least with Rally Roots, is they say this shirt is worth $400. So I look it up real quick, except for the ones that are selling for $80. I mean, that's great. Maybe they can sell it for $400, but Joe Schmo and Angie Resells cannot sell it for $400. So these people are paying, $300. I'm like, you're never going to recoup your money. Not even close. Right.
Yeah, and they do a lot of box drops too, and some of them I think are the ones that are still valuable, but maybe on the lower end of value, and they sell out quick though. So I did see one YouTuber make a negative video on him in Canada. He bought a box from him and he was not happy, and he made a video, and I don't know what all happened to it. But you're not going to please everybody, and I think they try to be sincere, at least from what I've seen of them. And I used to watch them quite a bit. They're pretty sincere with what they do, so I don't have a problem with them.
Hey,
I just ain't going to pay that much for shirts because
on their whatnot they'll say, "Don't go crazy, stop bidding so high," and people are, they're just taking advantage of the opportunity that they have because they're not forcing anyone to. They're starting everything at a buck.
Lynn, it'll never happen. You'll never be that famous. Maybe when I die, like other stars, when they die, their stuff goes up. That'll be when that was valuable. There's only one other one that I think I only bought like 3, and they came from China, and they're horrible.
They were so bad.
And I've got one behind me I won't get rid of because it's the only one I have. But it's the original, like Lonnie's original mug's, just not worth as much. But yeah, it'll never be worth a lot, Lynn. You might want to use it to catch rainwater when you're running to your car or something instead of an umbrella.
You didn't sign it. That's why we need an autograph for it.
Yeah, but I don't want Lynn getting my signature because them subsailors, they'll forge your paycheck, and when they get to the base, they'll start cashing all them checks. We used to keep our paychecks in our lockers because there wasn't direct deposit back then, Yeah, so we used to keep our paychecks in our lockers. And how many checks you got? I got 5 checks to cash when we get to shore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of YouTubers. I mean, Travis, I've been watching his videos, and I haven't been. He bought some jerseys. He called me a couple weeks ago and said, "Hey, this guy's got 21 jerseys for $7 a piece." And he started naming Michael Vick. And I was like, dude, that's a valuable jersey now.
Right.
At one time it wasn't, but it is now. And he had some Romos and some Randy Mosses and Brett Favre's. I said, dude, how much do you want? He goes, $7 a piece. I said, I'd buy them all. Brand new with tags. He just sold the Vick yesterday or 2 days ago for $85. So
nice.
I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, they're all going to get $60 to $150. He's got some Yankees and some other ones. They're all brand new. I said, you need to buy all those you can get. I love helping. Now send me one. Oh, and they're all like 54, 56, which is right in my neck of the woods.
I feel like I keep moving over.
You're sliding in your chair.
I'm like not centered. There you go.
The only way we can fix that, Roman, is to vote.
This ship, rinse, and repeat. There you go. Hey, it works. I mean, if you just do the work, eBay will work for you. Unless you're like terrible at sourcing or you price too high. I mean,
Tommy had a good point, though. You need to sell what's needed. And then the people that have money just to throw away, they're going to buy the wants, that kind of stuff. But mainly, I would say, I mean, today my sales, I've got a Funko, Back to the Future Funko, a dress shirt. What else did I sell? A handheld like Sudoku game,
right?
A Super Nintendo game, some Sarah Coventry jewelry, a Dallas Stars cap, an Xbox game, and some Doc Martin boots. So kind of a little bit of everything, but none of it's like major.
Swimsuits. I have like tons of brand new tag swimsuits.
Those should be selling
I've had for like 2 years. We finally listed them all, and I'm selling them like crazy.
They're just not worth much. I bought a few, and I've sold one.
No, but I bought a wholesale lot of a couple, hundreds of them at 50 cents a piece. And they were mostly like Target brands. So I'm like just unloading them at like $9 a piece plus shipping, and they're doing really well.
Mine say
I list them. So.
Mine say I love subsailors on the back of them. I'm kidding. I've never sure how you feel, Tommy. None of us are, Kristen. Oh, you
clipping off your ear.
Get to painting and clipping off your ears so you get famous in the value of those. What?
Like Van Gogh.
Oh, okay. I can't paint, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, unless you get it really, really cheap. And then I don't have a problem buying stuff that doesn't have a good sell rate if it's cheap, cheap.
And have y'all heard summer slowdown has already started? I don't
Nobody wants to imagine
agree.
that, Tommy.
I don't agree.
Yeah. That would be that I robbed Mr. Beast or something, Roman. That'd be the only way I made $1 million in 7 hours. I stole Mr. Beast's, or the guy that does Jeffy videos, I stole his Lamborghini and ran from the cops for six hours before they caught me or ran out of gas.
Running out of gas. I'm sure
That'd
that's
be the likely one, yeah.
Guzzler.
I don't know if I can run 6 hours in a Lamborghini on gas. Probably could.
Probably not.
And I drive a Infiniti G37 coupe, so the other day I went to fill it up, and I do the E10, and it was like $61 at $3.89 a gallon, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess it's a little high, yeah. But I don't normally let my gas tank get to empty. I just went out of state.
Has anyone else had a ton of people non-paying bidders? And I'm like, it's terrible this month. Normally people, I'll get one or two, but this month has been outrageous with just people not paying.
I gotta see if I still got the message from this lady I got today. Yeah, here we go. I sold a Mack truck K Products cap for $75 that I had $1 in.
Sarah.
And she said, so I've been sending her reminders because she's got over 1,100 feedback. And she says, hello and thank you for the notice. If you're in a rush for cash, you may want to cancel the order because I got to pay the entire rent and bills this week. My roommate was taken into custody over his own life BS drama at the age of a man. But the landlord don't care about any of that, as you well know. Therefore, now it's on me, okay? On me. Has nothing to do with you or the item. So I said, canceled, no problem. Sorry for your issue. And, it's just at that point you go, you know what? If she's not paying me this week, it's already been like 2 days. I'm like, I'm not going to get it in the next 2 days, so I might as well cancel and relist it. So, yeah.
The first sign of a bad buy is I only paid $0.25 for it. I love my quarter items, but I also have a little bit of experience, so I know what to buy. Oh, Len, I bought.
Oh, don't get Angie talking about pallets.
No, I bought a pallet of shoes one time, and they were like, oh, it's like you'll get a ton of different ones. The most you'll have is 6 pairs of the same one. And I got 55 pairs of the same exact black boot, all in the exact same size. I finally got rid of them last year. 2 years it took me to sell all those. Oh, my Lord.
I love Kristen's comment. I have 2 in eBay layaway right now. Yes. I've never heard that term. That's funny.
Exactly.
Hey, we should have somebody come along like they do in some stores at Christmas, and they go, hey, I want to pay 5 layaways right now. So maybe we could go out, Angie. We could search out people that haven't paid like in her store, and we'll just pay for them. Pay it forward. So you start it off and let me know how it goes. Maybe we should get Tommy to do it.
No, that's not happening. Also, if you paid $0.25 for a pallet, it's not a good buy.
That's right, Lynn. Roman. Yeah, that's right. No, I bought a couple of putters recently. One was a Ping and one's a Kirk Curry for $1 a piece. And then I bought the head cover, which was a Scotty Cameron. I already sold the Scotty Cameron for more than the putters, but really? I paid basically nothing for the cover. And I'm like, I'll pick up putters all day long for $1 a piece, even if they're not those brands. But, people want putters, especially right now. But I don't buy as many. I have a lot of shoes, but I really don't like buying shoes. And I know Tommy buys a lot of shoes, but
Tommy has a great source, like where he can get like really good quality.
I told you how that is. He got people that go out to the Y and bowling alleys, and when people take their shoes off, they run by and bag them up and send them to Tommy. He's like the guy that, parts out cars that are stolen. I know how Tommy is.
Hey, Len, at least they're going up in price. I accepted a lowball offer, and buyer said she didn't have the money. Yeah,
I made a mistake a couple of weeks ago. I sold a guy a ball cap, Chicago Bulls ball cap for $60. He gets it and he goes, it just doesn't fit the way I like. He goes, I said, sir, it doesn't fit my head. I was like, sir, it's a snapback. It fits everybody's head. He goes, I tell you what, send me $10 and I'll keep it. I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute. It didn't fit, but you'll take it, keep it if I give you $10 back. So that right there, normally I only had $1 in it. So I was like,
Right.
I would have done it. But I was like, because it was just more of the principle to me than it was the money, I made him send it back, and he did, because I didn't think he would. And he did. And now I've got that thing down to $55 trying to get rid of it. I'm like, I should have just done it. But it was more the principle to me than anything. Unless you bought a pellet with nothing. That's a good point, Roman.
Best offer ever. Y'all have fun with those.
I don't do those anymore either.
Yeah. I do best offer.
But I get messages on them. Don't you?
Hey, I never forced you to do anything. I'm sticking to the story, Travis. You're trying to get me in trouble.
Always I saw Travis's wanted poster in my post office the other day on those. And I was going to send him a message, but he's done me some good deals, so I can't. See, I can be crooked too, and he ain't even a politician. That's you, Angie, isn't it?
Yeah. Somebody in Puerto Rico just keeps sending me this over this shirt. It's a new tag shirt. I mean, their offer started at $2, then it was $3.25. I'm like, please stop.
Oh, the ones I love are, what's their measurement on this shoulder strap? And so I tell them, and then they go, well, what from if you hold it up, what's the difference between, the bag and the top of the shoulder? And then they go, well, what is it from side to side? I'm like, okay, just double that. Okay. Cause it's just double that. Okay. It's pretty, I don't wear a purse, but I kind of can figure that out. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then about 2 days later you get, well, will you take 60 for it? I got it for 90. I'll do 80. How about that? No. And it's a brand new, Dooney and Bork coral purse. It's my daughter's friend, so that's the only one I'm selling for somebody else. I'm like, I don't have that kind of room to mess with. It's not mine.
Yeah.
But you know what? You send me all these messages, and then you still want to lowball me afterwards. I'm like, yeah, I am.
Oh, my problem with clothes. My mom does my measurements for clothes. She will do like chest, like across, underarm to underarm, and length, and then pants. She does inseam and waist. Every single time somebody wants a different measurement, I need the hip measurement or this measurement, then they never buy it.
The rise, I know.
They won't buy it.
9 times out of 10, I get the same thing.
Like, I like hate answering those questions. I'm like, you're not gonna buy it anyway.
And a lot of my clothing is bagged, so I have to go pull it and unbag it, and then
mine
measure
are bags, every single piece. So, and then you got to replace the bag because they don't peel and stick.
Kristen was in the Arkansas bins the other day, and she was liking it. Have you ever been to the Oklahoma City bins? Because I haven't been in a couple of years, but it was one of the best I've ever been in. So if you ever get over to Oklahoma City, you need to go.
There you go.
Raccoons are cute.
You auto reject at 5% off.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll admit, Tommy, I think's even brought it up before. I do price high, so I have room to come down. And the other day I took like 600 items and dropped the prices. Again, I'm looking at what I got in cost of goods on it. But at some point I've got to go, you know what? You just got to make a profit on it and get rid of it, because 5,600 items is way too many items that I have in my store. I don't like having that much. But I don't want to do a John Cincinnati picker deal either and sell, $110,000 of listed inventory, for $5,000 or something. It would have to be like $40,000 if you want to buy it. So,
well, I price everything, at least 10% higher automatically, because I run a 10% sale all the time. It's ending every few days. I don't know why I do that. Somebody said that's a good idea to do that. So the idea that something is on sale, even if it's just 10%. So I do that with pretty much every one of my listings. And I do put best offer, but I just, I'm not going to come down like huge
Res-
amounts.
Reseller Rowboat is the lady that Adam had on, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
she runs sales and said she changes her promotions every day. And I know Tommy changes his every few days. She changes hers daily and runs anywhere from 10 to 50% depending on how many months it's been out there.
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to watch a couple of videos and just kind of see what she's doing. Again, she don't have a lot in sales, but she said she doesn't pay more than $2 for anything. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
but
you don't have best offer, but you send offers.
me?
No,
No.
Tommy.
And I send a lot of offers, but I don't
So
have
do I.
best offer on anymore either. But I get messages from people. Will you take $15 for that $50 item? No.
Oh,
No.
I did. I tried an experiment to use a coupon because that was something I never did on eBay. And I thought, okay, I'll give it a try and see what people think. I'm telling you, people don't understand the coupons. It says, 25% off. You have to click it to apply it. So by putting in that code, you get an extra 25% off the item. I sold so many items from that sale. The people didn't take the 25% off. It's like nobody understands the coupon.
Right.
So
I get them from people, but I've never used them to buy anything from them because when I look in their store, it's a lot of times people that sell like glassware and stuff. I don't buy that stuff.
yeah, but people don't understand it.
Now send me some GameCube coupons and I'll buy from you.
Yeah.
I haven't been buying them either lately.
I said coupon.
Coupon. Yeah, yeah.
Coupon.
He's hilarious, Larry the Cable Guy. Hey, I'll be right back. I'm gonna mute myself. How do I mute myself? Oh, there we go.
I thought he was passing out or something. Yeah, the store coupon. I don't know I'm not sure why it doesn't automatically apply it, but I think just putting the items on a sale is a better option for me because seriously, how did not a single person know to use the coupon? I have a 5% coupon on the whole store, and when they search, the 5% shows up in red next to the listing. But Tommy, why would my item sell and they didn't use the coupon? I mean, multiple items. And I went back and checked to make sure that they were on there. Eye candy more than money. Yeah. But I do what Tommy recommends, and that's doing the promoted and changing it every few days. But I wonder what I'm really concerned about how much it's going to cost once they start charging us promoted fees on the shipping and sales tax too. I mean, that's essentially for a lot of items going to double or more the promoted fees. So I don't know if I should lower my promoted amounts or just eat that cost, but I think it's going to be kind of a big cost. They can't stack the coupons with offers. Oh, well, that's good to know. Yeah, because that would suck if somebody comes in and you give them, a $15 item for $12 and then they can take 25% more off of it. That would be terrible. So let me see. And he's back.
I had to pull an order too. I just sold these. I picked them up at an estate sale a few weeks ago, and they were in my death pile, and I had to list them. And it's handmade days of the week, like dish towels, but they're little pigs. See, like
Over
Sunday, Friday, Monday, but they're handmade, and I paid $1 for them. And there were some pillowcases and other stuff, but these are all 7 days of the week, and they're all embroidered. And
they're
I sold
cute.
them for $24.90 is what I sold them for. Paid $1. So see, Tommy, those are a need. You got to have days of the week pig hand towels.
Need.
Well, somebody needs them. They remind them of grandma or something.
But
Now, I've got a bunch of doilies in there too. Remember those?
Yep.
And that goes with the little orange things, the little peanuts and the little jellies and stuff that my grandma used to keep in her candy dishes.
I was saying I'd use the coupon.
And I got to learn how to do that coupon. I've never sent a coupon.
It was worthless. You weren't in here, but we're talking for a month. I put a 25% coupon on 500 listings, sold multiple of those listings, but nobody used the coupon that was on there. They could get like 25% off and they just didn't use it. It's like they were like dumbasses and didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah, I get them all the time from people on Instagram that we follow each other, but I've never actually done them. So
don't lower promoted, raise shipping. I've always raised my shipping $2 per pair. Change in the sales. $15 for less than $9. That's a good. What I said when you were gone, Bobby, is I was concerned about promoted listings as next week. You're going to have to pay it on sales tax and shipping too. So it's essentially, for a lot of things, could be doubling your promoted fees. And I wasn't sure if I should lower it or what, but that's a good idea. Just go in and increase my shipping rates, which means I need to go and do that and probably just have a little bit higher, change on my shipping rates.
He charges $12.99 for a pair of shoes. And today I shipped 15 for less than $9. Oh, okay. So that's what he actually paid. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Freight Journey, I thought they were super cute. That took a lot of time for someone to make
Sarah Nix.
I'll be right back.
Okay. She's called twice now, so she must really need them. Yeah, I think. No, Tommy, do you ship all of your shoes in like the shoe boxes, priority mail shoe boxes, or are you using UPS? And so if you use UPS, are you buying a specific box for shoes? I'm just curious how you do that, because most of my shoes I've been doing in the priority mail shoe boxes, but I wonder if it's cheaper to do UPS for those. Promoted is not going away. It's only getting worse. You use poly bags for all your shoes? Now, what about, are you using priority mail or are you using UPS? I know you're a big UPS proponent. Fan. There you go.
I actually changed mine this week from 3 to 4%, but I'm not doing the big percentages anymore.
Roman, use poly bags sometimes. I bought new poly bags that like are patterns. They have lemons and watermelons on them, like 2 different kinds. They're the worst quality. I would never put shoes in them. At least the eBay ones that I buy are like thick. I need to, when I'm ordering poly mailers, really check how many mil it is, because the last ones I got, I wouldn't dare put anything fragile or anything with edges because I'm afraid it wouldn't make it.
So on shoes, if you ship them, do you ship them in USPS shoe boxes? Because if they're under size 9, I ship them in these if they're not real valuable. And otherwise, they go on a USPS shoe box.
I wonder what the price is for like UPS ground for shoes.
Probably not cheaper than USPS.
As long as Tommy doesn't ship VCRs and poly bags.
Or pizza boxes. It's all good.
UPS. See, I knew you would. I didn't know that you could actually ship in a poly bag for UPS. I had no idea.
Hopefully USPS ain't listening, because I take USPS tubes now and ship my golf clubs and posters and bats in USPS tubes on UPS because they don't care. Because I'm not buying them from UPS.
eBay does have the best poly mailers. It's crazy how thick the poly mailers are that come from eBay. And I order them, quarterly. That's like the number one thing that I get from the free shipping supplies.
See, now, Tracy, I thought you would use something pretty for the clothing, because you sell a lot of pretty clothing and stuff. I would think you'd use decorative bags, that you can get in bulk.
There are
Christmas or something,
there's like
maybe.
a place called Magic Mailers that has like the design ones, and they're pretty nice, and like the heavier ones. But honestly, I really like the eBay ones probably the best.
Yeah.
She says she's not bougie.
All right, I stand
Hey,
corrected,
you know what?
Tracy.
eBay has a padded mailer that's like it's a bigger size that I use those for books. They are perfect for books, and they're like really good quality too. So one thing eBay got right, whoever they're using for their shipping supplies does a really good job.
Hey, Tracy, would you sell these vintage
I would have sold those.
hand towels? This is a state sale. She had a lot of her mother's stuff. This lady wore a different colored visor every day, and she had all kinds of stuff like that. But I saw these, and I was like, I gotta have those. They were all cheap, so
I get my clear polys from the Boxery. 1,000 for 75. Okay, I'm writing that down. That
that's a
is a
lot.
great deal. Wow.
Now, when I get my supplies, and that'll be coming up the end of June, I always buy the 8x6x4 boxes with my supplies. I used to get the tape, but I hate eBay tape. Hate it.
Well, I use eBay tape.
Oh,
Like if I have an
cool.
ugly box or I'm reusing a box, I'll tape it with clear, and then I'll just make it look better with the eBay tape. And I use the eBay tape like if I'm taping like bubble wrap and stuff around things. I'm not using it, for taping the boxes because,
Right.
good Lord, it would never make it.
Now, I do use, I'm not a paid sponsor of American Bubble Boy, but I do love their bubble wrap, and I love how fast it gets here. You can't beat
Me
it.
too.
$39. I ordered 4 rolls today. $39 shipped. So
Has anyone tried the what do they call it? It's like the foam thing that they have where it like pops up around your item to like protect it really well. Can't remember what it's called.
I'm writing down Tommy's suggestions.
Yeah, me too.
Anybody else got any, or Tommy's the
Cheap
only one with
boxes as well.
good ideas?
Clearance section. Thanks. I will definitely look. You don't have an affiliate link? Oh, they sell on Amazon. I love that when they do both. Clear polybags, there's no gray area. They are either great or horrific. Oh, man, I get these ones that are clear, and they have like the most staticky like pull off thing for the the sticky thing. Oh man, they get everywhere. You can't get them off of anything. Those are the last couple I got. It's been terrible. Boxery. Okay, thanks guys. I will definitely check that out. What else we got? Only Tommy gets that deal. Right? Oh, your mom and aunts, Tracy, make the
Yeah, these are homemade. Yeah, they were pretty common, I guess. They're just kind of cool. I mean, there's different animals. These are pigs. They're just kind of cool. There's a couple of stains on these, but I disclosed that in the listing. Hey, $1 into 25, I'll take it.
Tracy said, I bet
I know
the
some people.
words I ever threw around was due to clear polymailer.
Some people are paid sponsors of Bubble Boy. I'm not one of those. I just I like how fast that gets here, and it's cheap.
Yes, that would be great. Or the company that there was a specific company you had said that was really good to work with. None are living. Speaking of bubble
Tracy,
wrap,
cuss words.
2 rolls.
I don't think Tracy's ever cussed in her life.
There were 750s.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, eBay's a lot of memory. So
PC. I'm on a PC, Tracy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, 750. Yeah, that's a big old roll.
There you go. Yeah, I get the what is it? 12. It's 700 foot or something. 4 rolls. it works. This.
Yeah, I think that's what
My
I
last
get
roll.
too.
It's my last roll, but it takes me a while to go through bubble wrap. So
I get the regular ones, and then I get the large ones as well. Because when I have like electronics or whatever, I like to wrap it in the larger ones.
Angie, you on Mac or PC?
I told her PC.
Oh, okay.
I need a new microphone, and Tommy and Tracy spent a lot of time like researching it, and they told me where to go, and I forgot.
So you gonna do karaoke?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'll sing while you dance.
Well, you got to sing certain music if I'm dancing because I don't dance to rock and roll.
There you go. And everyone, you can just throw money at us. That would be interesting.
That'll work.
Bubble Boy has too big of an unprotected gap at the perforations. I haven't had any problem with them, but if you have a recommendation for someone who's better, I'll gladly.
Tape's the one I always struggle with. I got some on Amazon once. It was clear. It was really good tape, but eBay tape I hate, and I've got a pretty good amount left. So once I'm out of it, I'm going back to clear.
No, I do clear, and I can't remember. I buy it on Amazon, but I buy it like 75 rolls at a time when I buy it. And
no, Sandra.
Yes, he was Sandra.
In Hawaii, not here.
No, you were going to get in a Speedo and dance for money.
Yeah, in Hawaii.
No.
It will look funny here. Running around my house. No
matter where you wear it, Bobby.
My dog will look at me and never think of me the same way. And she's 16.
You can get JT a Speedo too, and y'all can dance together.
Yeah, JT wouldn't look good in a Speedo, though. I would.
There you go.
Only to blind people. Don't remind him. Did I? Yeah. They're going to have to be more than $5. They're going to be more than $5 or $1.99 dances. Me wearing a Speedo and dancing, it's going to be some big bucks spent. Like, it better be $100 a dance.
$100 a dance?
Yeah, for one, I don't have a Speedo. I got to go out and buy it. So that's a cost, folks. That's a cost of goods.
Oh my gosh.
I got, it's not a write-off for me. I can't put on my $10.99, dancer. And I can't put stripper because it would be stripping, but it would be what's the name they use? They don't like the word stripper.
Exotic dancer.
Yes, there you go. Exotic dancer. Thank you. Yes, I'd be exotic. All right. Hey, Bobby, squeal. Hey, Garrett.
Garrett.
That's the last thing Garrett wants to hear.
Garrett will never get that vision out of his head. I have a lady that gave me bubble wrap and air puffs for free. Oh, nice. That's a score.
Yes. I love getting in bins and taking wrapping paper and all that stuff, although I buy the rolls of brown paper now. But if I see it in a bin and it's free, I'll take it.
I don't know the words to that, Journey.
Should be. Oh, I know that song. I love the Bee Gees. 4XL. I wear 2XL there, buddy. Don't make me worse than I am. I used to be a 4.
Right, there you go. I think Roman, he would do it for a 5-year supply.
I would do it. I'd do a lot of stuff for a 5-year supply of free bubble wrap.
Oh, we don't need
and throw in some Gatorade. Gatorade. Green and orange.
And Diet Dr. Pepper. Oh my gosh.
But I will be jumping off Black Rock Beach in Maui, which is about a 25-foot drop. 63 years old. I'm doing it. I only live once, and if I die doing it, then I'm on video doing it. That video might actually get more than 100 views. Cap Guy dies in Maui jumping off volcanic Black Rock Beach in Kaanapali, Maui.
You'll officially be famous.
Yeah, or jumps off, and about that time a tiger shark came along and decided to take half of him out. Yeah, I'm on a paddleboard this time too, and that'll be on video. That should be really fun. Me getting up on a paddleboard.
Well, you start on your knees.
I know. I actually watched a YouTube on how to do it the other day, and you slide up on it, but you got to keep your feet instead of surfing. You do it sideways. But my daughter did it with my son-in-laws a few years ago, and she actually got up faster than they did. So,
really,
they're going to do it. They're going to snuba and all that stuff, and we're going to
do it.
No, Karen can't swim.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I always tease her about it. Say you got a swimming pool, but you can't swim.
I just don't know.
But I'm pushing her. I'm pushing her to try to get in, and because you could snorkel with a like one of those noodles. You can lay your body over it and snorkel. And you don't need it, but I know it's scary if you can't swim and you're in 25 foot of water. Although it's clear.
We lived at the lake and pools when I was a kid. I just can't imagine not knowing how to swim. But I mean, if you just never, if you never went as a kid,
I think if it actually came to it, she could paddle and swim out of her way. She can swim. It just you're dealing with a riptide and currents and all that stuff too.
That's true.
If there's waves, it can be a little intimidating.
Len's trying to make sure everybody knows he wasn't actually trying to off you.
Yeah. It's funny because in the Navy, they teach you to swim. In boot camp, they teach you how to swim with your pants and a hat and a shirt. And people are like, you can swim with pants? It's like, yeah, you can float for a while in the water with pants. You tie the ends of the legs in a knot, and then you have to take the pants over to the top of you and create a bubble, then wrap your arms around it and close it. And it won't stay very long, but for a couple of minutes you can float to help yourself, not be so tired at sea. But you got to worry about, hypothermia and obviously predators and other things. But that was my biggest fear in the Navy when you're in the middle of the Pacific or the Indian Ocean or the Med or Atlantic. If you was to fall overboard and you were in heavy seas, it's not easy to turn a ship around and find you. So my biggest fear was falling over. And sometimes on the smaller ship, we'd go out as a radioman and we had to go outside the radio shack, outside along the lifelines to get to the next compartment. And it was dark. The ship runs dark at night. So you can't see anything. And it's pitch black out there unless there's a full moon. So you're up against the bulkhead and there's all kinds of fire hoses and life rafts and things on the bulkhead. And you're trying not to fall overboard if the seas are rough. And the biggest fear was to fall over and know that the ship's leaving and you're seeing it leave, That was a fear of mine. Good night, Miss Journey. Thanks as always for supporting us.
Journey.
But, yeah.
Well, Mom just texted me. She needs a ride from bingo.
She went to bingo? Did she win?
Yep.
Well, that would be my first question. Mom, if you didn't win, catch an Uber. If you won,
my guess would be no, she wouldn't be calling already if she had any money left.
All right, everybody. Well, have a good night. I will see you next week on Angie's channel. And the following week, I'll be in
Maui.
Yep. And I'll do some videos from there too. So
what was this? Len said he almost got left topside after a swim call.
Oh yeah, that would not be fun. Yeah.
Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks everybody for coming in. And sorry we got political, but some things need to be said.
Sandra,
have a good night.
Videos next week, I promise. Night, everyone.